Hey guys, what's up? What's going on? On today's video, we're going to be talking about the scourge and the enemy of amputee, infection. So welcome back to my channel, best day ever today. My name is Chris Olivier, and this is the fourth video in a series of 12 called #AMPUTEE, spelt in the description below. Well, what I aim to do is to share information with you guys, experience that I've accumulated over the past, 18 years since my accident in 2000, after which I lost my leg. I'm a TK amputee. So all the stuff I've learned over time that has helped me to improve my life. And you've heard me say this before, but losing my leg is quite possibly the best thing that has ever happened to me. And I'll talk some more about that on a different vlog. It sounds insane, I know, but it's true. Okay, so we're going to be talking about infection. About 2 years ago, I had to go in for an operation as a result of infection, and I ended up with anaphylactic shock on the theatre table, which damn near killed me. The doctor's reflection afterwards was that, Chris, we had to go and fetch you there, meaning like at the brink of death, and that scared the hell out of me. And at that point, I decided that I could never get myself in a situation again where I have to deal with going to a hospital, or at least do my best to prevent going to hospital to deal with infection. I'd had enough. So what I did was I implemented a whole stack of preventative measures to stop this from happening again. Essentially what I'm going to show you today is what I did. I'm going to show you a few alternatives in how to prevent or recover from an infection. I'm going to do it in a bunch of different ways. I'm going to start off by showing you my ritual, and I think a ritualized process of putting on your leg, taking it off, what we do when we go to bed and when we wake up the next morning and when we put the leg back on is absolutely crucial. In other words, to have a set pattern and to follow that pattern to the best of our ability in order to prevent infection. I've heard of so many people that have had an amputation. Well, they had the amputation as a result of an infection. What is even sadder is that a bunch of people have had the amputation done and subsequently have gone back into the theatre to have more amputations than have gone from losing a foot to losing a lower leg to a through knee to an above knee, and often very preventable. And most of these bugs, these super bugs, we pick up in the hospitals, which is really quite frightening. All right, so let's get down to it. What do I do to prevent infection or to manage the well-being of my stump? So I'm going to start with what is the process that I follow, my ritual in the morning after my shower, where I put on the sock in order to put on the prosthetic leg, and what it is that I use in order to prevent infection from happening, to prevent chafing from happening, and all those nasty consequences that we get from that chafing. Alright, so let's start with sanitation. I'm going to go through all these products. For those of you that do not live in South Africa, it's easy to find the equivalent in Europe or in continental America, Australia, Asia, or wherever you live. I will put the product in the description below. As the product there, and you go and Google it, it'll show you more or less what it's made up of, and you would without a doubt be able to find the alternative back in your country. Okay, so we're up, we've had the shower, and we need to roll on the sock. The first thing I do is I give the leg a bit of a wash. The product that you can find in any drugstore called Bioscrub, something I use in hospitals to scrub up with, and it kind of kills almost any germ. It can cause some skin irritation, so use it sparingly. What I generally try and do is I wash the bit that is prone to infection or sores or chafing or hurt, and I then use a hypoallergenic cream to soothe it over, and I give it a bit of a rest before I roll on the sock. So this is the first step. The second product you use, and this is to clean my sock before I put it on, is something called D-Germ. It's a hand disinfectant. It claims that it kills 99% of all bacteria, which is good for me. What I do is essentially I wash the sock with this, and guys, this is quite important. I think the choice of sock or suspension that we use is absolutely crucial. Okay, so this is the product that I use. I use OSSUR. The reason I use OSSUR is that they have a patented liner. The inside of the liner is super smooth, super forgiving for activity, for a lot of activity on the knee, and I do a lot of activities, and I really generally give my stump quite a battering. This material, whatever it is that they've used or patented, is phenomenal. It is better than any other product, any other sock that I've used. So this is OSSUR's Iceross, they call it. I'm using an even better version now, their latest version. I'll put it all in the description below. Please guys, go and look this up. It is crucial in preventing ongoing infection if used in combination or conjunction with what I'm showing you. So what I do is I take my liner and I use this and I clean it around the top and wash it really, rinse it really well to ensure that I get all the disinfectant off, because it can also cause skin irritation. So we've got the wash for the stump, rinse it off proper so as to not leave any soap in it. I've got the wash for the sock, and between these two it kills mostly all the germs. And this is the liner that I use, which I find, since I've used this, I've had virtually no problems with infection. The third product that I use, so what I do is I apply some of this at the area of the stump where I have most of the chafing or most of the pressures. This is a product called Bactrazine. I'll put this in the description below too. I'm going to stop saying that because I'll just put it all in the description below. A product called Bactrazine. If you Google this, you'll obviously also find the properties. And I use this to apply simply over the area, the sensitive area. You can buy this in a tube, the original product, or what I do is I go to the drugstore, the pharmacy, and I get them to make this up in bulk. It comes in bigger tubs and containers too. I use this stuff religiously, and ever since I've used this, no more infection. Bactrazine. For the balance of the leg, I use Epimax. It's a hypoallergenic cream. It's really soft, really soothing on the skin, and it allows this liner to sit really nicely and really comfortably in a really friendly manner. The next product I use, which is to get the liner to slip into the socket nicely. And this is important because if we put the liner into the socket and it pushes back too much, you can imagine it stretches the skin and causes the skin to pull tight and much more prone to lesions. You don't want too much pressure when you push it in. For this, I use a lubricant spray called Lubricant Spray. It's also made by OSSUR. I've been using this ever since I've switched to OSSUR products, about which I'll talk some more at a later stage. So the combination of the OSSUR sock and the OSSUR lubricant, great. I haven't found better. Okay, then there's what I call evening care. So in the evening, I've got a similar ritual. I take my sock off. I use a bit of this stuff to clean the contact area on the stump. I use a bit of this stuff just to clean up the sock nicely again. And remember guys, to rinse it proper, really rinse it well. And then what I do is, before I go to bed, if there is an area which is exposed where the skin has been rubbed away and I might be afraid that it could become infected, I use a product called Bactroban. It's a gel that I apply on the infected areas. Before I do that, I use some surgical spirits just to clean the area really well. This stuff comes in a different form, which is a little spray called Wound Care, which I spray on, and then I'm sure to take a little gauze just to dab it and to make sure that it's dry. And as I said, after I clean it, I use this product called Bactroban just to make sure that all the bacteria gets dealt with. I don't suggest that we use too much of this. It's got an antibiotic in it, and I think we become resistant to those bugs. So don't use it too often, but I would suggest you use it if there's an open wound that can become even more infected. So that's my story for today. I hope that you find value in it. My mind's a bit all over the place, so I hope it made some sort of sense. I think it's really important to sit down and identify what your ritual is going to be. Go back over my video, look at each step individually, maybe write them down, and be sure to follow it diligently, religiously, in the evening and in the morning. And guys, since I've done that, no infection. I would say the combination of the ritual, using the right products, and without a doubt using OSSUR's sock has prevented me from further infection. I mean, for the past 16 years before that, I had ongoing infections, operations. I would say that's what made the difference. I think in particular the sock, discovering the sock with its material that I believe OSSUR's, I think they've patented. So they're the only guys that can provide this product. I strongly suggest that you use this. Okay, that's my story for today. Thank you for listening. So that's the fourth in a series of 12 videos called #Amputee. Please come back and subscribe to get a notification of when these videos are published. And what I'd like you to do maybe is to click on that subscribe button, which is down here somewhere, or down here somewhere, it's that red one. Click subscribe, click the notifications, and you will receive notifications of when I post more videos. Alright, thanks for watching. Please come back to my subscribers. Thank you very much for those who are subscribing. I'll see you next week. See ya. Bye.